Hi everybody, this is Kyle with GravityPilot. I am the lead developer here, and I'm about to walk you through how to generate forms with OpenAI with GravityPilot. So this form we're looking at here, the Web Developer Job Application form, was generated in about 30 seconds, I think. All of this complete. Just from a short description, it's made to be kind of an expert in any lateral that you ask it to make a form for, right? So these are very direct questions. I also ask it to incorporate a DISC or Briggs and Myers type profiler questions, right? It did pretty good here, right? And even they pseudo match in with the job that we're doing here. So pretty amazing that it took down all this for the technical skills immediately. And one little quick tidbit here, it even kind of subliminally lowballed a salary in there, right? That's pretty clever. So at the same time, it does confirmations and notifications. So without further ado, here is GravityPilot. You can see part of my key, but we're going to kill that later anyways. But the form description here is kind of long, isn't it? So there is a custom GPT GravityPilot companion that goes with this, but further down below there's a short how-to if you don't want to dig in the manual right away. And then as you use this, these suggested fields come back as a parsed JSON response that's been prettified that you can inspect, and then at the same time there's also the raw OpenAI response that we can also see our token usage and kind of dissect what we're doing. And then down at the end, yep, you create the form and immediately you get something like that. So let's restart the process and do one from scratch. Alright, so I've got my initial setup here. I've cleared everything out and given a form description. So you put your API key in, select your model, max tokens, and the form description. So as far as models go, GPT-4o Mini is kind of my favorite. It just packs a punch for what you pay for. And then, of course, if you want, there are many other choices. I wouldn't go down to the lower guys, but you can try it. I mean, they're all there for you to try. So, but at the end of the day, if you're getting more complex and, specific, try GPT-4 Turbo. But for most everyday cases, 4o Mini is fine. Right, so the form description, we're going to do two versions of this. We can do this without the GPT companion. We'll do that first, but then we'll do it with the GPT companion. And the comparison's kind of, to be fair here, night and day. It's meant to use the companion to get these full form, ornate, very detailed, per the lateral expert forms. So without further ado, we're going to import from OpenAI. On this, just the normal form description, right? We're not using the companion. We'll sit here and wait. Usually on these shorter responses, they can be rather short, right? But average is around 30 to 45 seconds. And if you're getting really long, it can take up to, past a minute, maybe 2 minutes. So there we go. Field suggestions received and saved. So now that the page reloads, we'll scroll down a little bit here. And we have the suggested fields in a parsed JSON response and prettified that we can inspect. Gravity Forms in the background through the API has a certain spec that it has to import these through, right, or create the form. So, this turned out all right. If we generate this, I can see it's actually just asking straight up what the personality is type. I told it to kind of be relaxed about that and not be direct, so that's kind of what you get with the form description here. So it's, it still works just fine. We're not going to create that one. I'm going to save that for the next. So let's open up the GPT companion for GravityPilot, right? And I'm going to ask that same question to this guy. So he has been trained very, very detailed on the Gravity Form spec, and to also be an expert in the field of what you're trying to make a form for. So if you notice here, there's certain things that are thrown in there that it needs all the time. But basically all we're going to do is ask for, this is a much better form, right? Ask for copy and paste this into the description and ask for OpenAI to just verbatim make this in the JSON, right? And then we'll create our form. So, yeah, we're going through languages, technical skills. This is nice. E-discovery. I used to be a paralegal in another life. This is a pretty good probe. So as this goes, I think I asked for how many questions? 40? This is going to be a long form. So we're going to continue generating. And of course, you do have to have a subscription to ChatGPT in order to use this custom GPT, whether you're using the free version of this that is soon to be on the WordPress repo, or you're using the paid version. You do have to have a subscription to ChatGPT on the side. So we're getting close. This is pretty good, right? We're going through those profiler questions and not being direct. Those would be metrics I could score later on the candidates I'm trying to interview. I got the background up at the top on his qualifications, education, background. And now you notice it's actually giving me the notifications and the confirmations that are going to appear. So these are custom, right? Per this attorney position. So anyways, we're going to copy all this all the way up to form title. It does need all that. And we're going to go back to GravityPilot, paste this in. So save and configure. Do a page reload refresh. It's going to make sure that's okay to send. All right, it condensed it all to OpenAI, and then we're going to import from OpenAI. Now this one's probably going to take a little longer, so I'm going to pause on this one and we'll come right back. And now we've received our response from OpenAI. We'll look at our suggested fields in the JSON. Looks pretty good, right? So, as you can see, this does a lot of things for you. And, it helps kind of springboard into a form that you may not be familiar with the lateral or demographic that you're working with. It's very ornate. It's time saving. A lot of us that do this web dev stuff when we're making these forms, we do have to make them per the client, right? So this just immediately speeds up all that, right? I mean, I'm still scrolling down the page of what all the information that GravityPilot and OpenAI together came up with here. So down at the bottom, looking at the notifications, those two look like they should be right. So over time, you may be familiar with the JSON spec as you use this, so you'll know if it's going to work or not. We're going to go here, press Create Gravity Form, and Gravity Form created successfully. Right, so we're going to go find that in the back end. So then we have our form. Right, so all this has been done for us. Right. I've been in this lateral. Those are good questions. I'd probably go through and change some of these state bar admissions depending upon where I'm trying to hire at, right? Primary practice areas, for sure. I need to know what they're good at. In particular, notable cases they've been on, professional licenses or certifications, affiliations, accolades, awards, speaking engagements. I mean, these are all things you would want to know about an attorney you're about to hire, for sure. Community involvement, language spoken anymore, yes, 100%. Technical skills, again, back to that e-discovery tools. I might go in and expand that out because I know that, but this did very, very good, right? So, yeah, keeps going, long form. So we go through the profiler questions, right? I ask it to integrate that. So there's all kinds of things you can do, and this is just a short video. There'll be more out on tutorials on how to play with the companion GPT that literally you can just be like, hey, I love that form. Make that now for an accountant. And it'll take kind of the structure, right? But then apply a different lateral to it. It's very, very cool. So, anyways, if you want, right now, currently we're running a special. You can get the paid version for $29 a year. That's just the plugin, has everything. that you need. Everything's unlocked, and at the same time, you get updates, unlimited sites. It's all yours. I'm not trying to cap anything there. And then I have the premium pass that is $49 a year, and basically that's going to include a bunch of form templates. Currently, right now, it's just the AI generated ones that are long form. You'll get those immediately.